This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, you're listening to Animal Party on Pet Life Radio with me, Deb Wolf. And today we have Liz Menegon coming to us to talk to you and me about hands to paw. Welcome to the show, Liz.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So what is hands number 2, hands to paw? What is that?
So Hands to Paws, believe it or not, is the only app available in the entire universe that matches humans with the right pure breed of dog. That's the first step. Okay. Or an available rescue. So
nice.
With a pure breed or an available rescue.
And okay, so how does it do that? Does it ask you questions?
It does. It seems very rudimentary, but people generally don't think about the questions that we ask. And those answers really determine what breed works for you and your lifestyle and your expectations. So these are questions that stem from energy level to mental stimulation, grooming, barking. You know, a beagle is a beautiful puppy, but it grows up to be a barker. And if you're in an apartment, that generally doesn't end well. Shedding, drooling, even the size of the dog. So all of these questions will create, there's an algorithm that then goes through all the breeds that are recognized by the American Kennel Club. That's how we had to do it, how I actually wanted to do it. And then from your answers, it will then recommend the breeds that would be perfect for you.
Well, I see the outcome of the mismatches, right? Like in terms of grooming, it's neglect. You see these dogs with these, great disposition, horrible mats, disgusting ears. And you think, why did they get a high maintenance dog if they weren't willing to do the maintenance?
Exactly.
And then you've got the behavior ones. Well, those dogs, they're no secret, right? We know who they are when they're mismatching energy.
Exactly. And that's a whole other topic we can talk about mismatch of herding dogs in apartments that owners think they need to medicate them because they have separation anxiety when they actually have the wrong dog. So that's a whole other topic.
Yes. Yes. When someone calls me up and it's almost like sometimes they ask me these questions about a particular breed, a dog they have, they want it trained a certain way. And it's as if they're calling me and saying, I live on a lake. I have a golden retriever. Can you teach it not to swim?
Exactly.
No, I mean, I can, but why would I? And what are you thinking? How about just clean her ears? How about that? Let's get to the crux of why you don't want her to swim. But okay.
The app opened up an entire can of worms. And what it did is it identified the real deficiencies that are happening in America in the puppy mill industry. So I think that is really out of this whole experience, the need came from seeing people that were buying the wrong dogs or they were buying the in dog.
Right.
And I felt sorry for the dog. And I basically just said one day after seeing 3 miniature Australian Shepherds in my apartment complex. Yeah, and I just said, and I remember opening my door. I think I was yelling to myself out loud. And I said, what is wrong with people? Why are people getting these dogs? And that's what started this journey to an app that did not exist to existing.
We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk about mini Aussies in apartment buildings. What are you thinking? Talk about a recipe for barking and neuroses and just an unhappy dog and unhappy neighbors. Okay, stay tuned. We're going to solve that one on Animal Party Pet Life Radio. Stay tuned with Liz Menegon.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and raised over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion, because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, we're back with Liz Menegon, and she's got the app Hands to Paw, which helps you not make mistakes in the dog you get. You're going to get a dog, you're going to have it 10, 15 years every day. The days you don't feel like going for a walk, the days when it's pouring rain, the days when you got a toothache, the days when you're too busy, every day, right? That's what you're going to have. The days you don't feel like brushing it, you've got that dog. So what dog are you going to get? That's the problem, right, Liz? That's the problem you solve.
It is, we solve that problem, and we also guide you to the right person to actually get a dog, which is what I'll touch on just briefly. But yes, it's 60% of owners surrenders. 60% of owners surrenders to shelters are wrong breed and medical conditions and issues that they cannot afford.
And sometimes those are the same thing. Medical conditions, for example, if you're listening and you have a pug, you are familiar with skin issues or chow or a Shar-Pei. If you're listening and you have a dog with deep ears that loves swimming, you know you need to maintain those ears or your dog gets a condition, right?
Correct. Here's where it stems from. In this industry, there is really no uniting vision. We all know that there's a problem in this country with puppy mills and the new novice backyard breeding. But the internet has fueled this wildfire of getting the in dog, the fluffy French bull, the Labradoodle, Golden Doodle, Dana Doodle, Rottweiler Doodle, Corgi Doodle.
Now you're getting onto my territory. I cannot get over who they breed to be doodles. Say Bernards, which are, it's just not, when you look at the conformation and the size and the structure of an animal and you say, okay, I'm going to breed an elephant with a mouse, it makes no sense to me. Like, you're going to have problems. Can't do that. You just can't do that and have 10 healthy puppies. You can't.
You can't. And here's the thing. In this industry, let's just talk about owning a pet. People are either misinformed, not informed, or they just don't care. They will pay $8,000 for a Labradoodle because their neighbor has one. I live not too far from a very affluent community that I actually grew up in. And I have seen every sort of doodle from every shape and size for a serious amount of money. And they have no idea that every one originates from a puppy mill.
Oh, no. Where are you located? What city are you in, Liz?
I'm in Connecticut. So I moved out of New York City. I live in Connecticut, and I grew up in actually Greenwich, Connecticut. And it's all doodles.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. And I breed doodles. I breed golden doodles, Labradoodles, and poodles. But I have noticed that people lie about size. I've noticed the buyers want small and the breeders tell them the dog will be small, but the dog's not going to be small. So that's what this is like what used to happen to people 30 years ago when they'd go to the pet store and they'd buy a reptile. And the pet store owner would say, oh, it'll only grow as big as its cage. In the meantime, this person has a 3-foot iguana in their basement or something. So, no. Look at the parents if you want to know the size. That's key. If you can't meet the parents, go home. Find another dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to ask you about how you help people once they've figured out, okay, I like to brush so I can handle a rough collie long coat, or I'm an avid runner, I can handle a herding dog. They get the right dog. How do you direct them to avoid puppy mills? Because that's a tough avoid nowadays.
Well, it's actually very simple. Believe it or not, it is very simple. When you find a match, when you go through your matches, you will, I don't know if you downloaded the app, but when you go through the matches, you will then get your recommendations. So let's say one of them was a border terrier. You can read a little bit about the border terrier. And then when you click on the image, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
It brings you right to the Border Collie Club of America.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're dealing only with AKC registered licensed breeders for everything.
No.
No.
Not everyone. There's a difference between
Okay.
the AKC registered breeders and a breed specific association.
Okay.
The breed specific association is made up of the people that breed and show, handle, rescue that breed specific
Okay.
breed. So in other words, my breeder who breeds Italian Greyhounds belongs to the Italian Greyhound Club of America. She's part of the AKC referral. I have an issue with the AKC. I don't know if you want me to go into it, but the AKC has had many breeders. They do not personally hold any accountability to anyone. Anyone can be an AKC preferred breeder. You just pay and you join.
Right.
Many breeders that are associated with the AKC have been document habitual offenders with the USDA. If you go to the horrible 100 list, you will see in the top 100 offenders of puppy mills in this country, a lot of them are AKC preferred breeders. So that is an issue. So I direct people right to the breed specific association.
Okay, go hold it 1 second. I gotta hit on this horrible 100 list. How do I see that?
It's awful. So the Humane Society of America for the last 10 years has been putting out a report called the Horrible 100. The Horrible 100 has been published, and it takes the 100 top offending puppy mills in this country. The top offenders, Missouri, Iowa, New York was number 3. And what they did is they took reports. These are inspection reports that are filed by the USDA for licensed breeding facilities. It is unconscionable and will give you nightmares if you read through. I'm going to start crying. I'm going to burst into tears.
Yeah.
It's legal animal cruelty.
Okay, well, you know what? I've been on the good guy side of hoarding crackdowns where you try and negotiate with the mentally ill person who's keeping so many animals in such a bad state, and where they're breeding and being sold, and the premises are horrible, and there's neglect, and there's ill, sick puppies, there's kittens, there's animals who need care desperately, urgent vet care. There's the floor falling apart, feces everywhere. I do understand what you're talking about. And so you definitely, if you're getting a puppy, you want to make sure you're not going to somebody on the horrible 100 list, but also go there yourself. This is so key for me. We're going to take a break soon, but before we do, I just want to say, go there yourself. Don't send someone else. Don't agree to meet in a midway point at a restaurant parking lot or in a hotel or at a meeting room. No. Go where the dogs live. Go where the breeders, where the parents are, the parent dogs. Go see the mama, see the puppies. Your eyes, your heart, your brain, you'll know if it's the right place or not. And one thing I caution you on, this is tough, but when you go to a place that's really terrible, a lot of times a good person has a hard time walking away without a puppy. You know, you think you'll just rescue that one, but you're supporting this breeder to continue, and also you're embarking on what could be a lifetime of health problems. So rather report them instead and walk away. Okay, so we're going to go to break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk more about hands to paw. Stay tuned on Animal Party Pet Life Radio.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, we're back on Animal Party, Pet Life Radio. And I do feel I should tell you, Liz, that almost 25 years ago, in the 1990s, I wrote a book called Pick Your Pet, Pick Your Pup. I did both, Pick Your Pet and Pick Your Pup. And Pick Your Pup was like a Cosmo quiz, where you'd go through and it would say, after work, I like to sit and watch TV, A, or B, I like to go for a run, C, I like to go for a workout, this kind of thing. And at the end, you got a score on the 4 categories of, I think it was grooming and behavior, and there was a couple other categories. And then you got to a page where it showed you all the dogs that could fit your lifestyle. But it wasn't an app, and it didn't then send you on. It didn't work like this. So it sounds like you've definitely improved upon my little newspaper Cosmo style quiz that I did way back when. But even then I saw a need for it. And I also saw a conflict with what I did in that sometimes different people in the family suited different things. So, they'd have like let's say a 12-year-old son. That's a good number. He's 12. He's going to be home for another 6 years. Great. We can count him as one of the exercisers. But if he's 18, he's about to leave. We can't count him if we're getting a super hyper dog and we're counting on him to be the one exercising the dog, and he's about to go to college. So you kind of have to think about the whole family, don't you?
Sure. My mom always said, you never buy a dog for your children because the parents end up taking care of it.
Oh, that's so true. That is so true.
I remember at 8 years old, all I wanted was a dog. My parents got us a Yorkie. I don't think I ever walked that dog. I definitely didn't give it a haircut. So, you have to be committed as a family, let's say, if you want to get a family pet. And again, that's what's important about the app. It does ask you questions about children in the home. There are some dogs that are not compatible with children under 5.
There's quite a few, actually. If you go to a Good Breed Book Encyclopedia, you'll see that that's one of the things listed. They'll have like a picture sort of chart with each dog showing you if they're good with kids or not, because that's really true. There's some dogs that are just nippy. They'll try and put your children in their place, and their place is below the dog, and you don't want that, right?
Yeah, the person in New York City who says, why is my corgi nipping at the kid's ankles and pushing the cushions off the sofa? Because your corgi is trying to herd, because that's a herding dog. So, yeah, people are going by looks only. And this has changed the landscape of purchasing a pet because of the internet, because of Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Kids look at this cute photo and say, Mom, look, it's a fuzzy French bull for $15,000. It's a breed that doesn't exist. It's a breed that's bred for aesthetics only. And this is where parents are falling into this trap of their kids wanting something that they know nothing about.
The social media thing, it's so fleeting. It's an instant picture, right? Instagram. It's quick. It's fast. So you want that picture, and you see gorgeous pictures of cute cats or grumpy cats or gorgeous dogs or whatever. And the kid wants that now. But does he want it tomorrow and next week and next year? It's gotten worse in terms of parenting and pets, I think.
Sure. And, people want their kids to be happy. But here's the thing. When you purchase a pet solely based on its looks, from a pet store, you're going to end up being one of those 60% of people that go into a shelter or a rescue and say, I had no idea that this Cocker Spaniel needed to be groomed every 6 weeks, and we just don't have time for this, and they dump it at a shelter. So it seems like a very simple question. My dog is perfect for my lifestyle. My dog isn't for everyone, as I say about every breed. Not every breed is for everyone. I love certain breeds, but I couldn't own them because it does a disservice to an animal when you buy an animal and you put it in the wrong environment.
Well, for people listening, they probably don't know. An Italian Greyhound is like a Greyhound, but quite a bit smaller. And people think Greyhounds, they must need to run a lot. No, they're actually sprinters. So they don't need to run a lot. The Border Collie, who's made to herd sheep in the distance, okay, that's your long distance runner if you're looking for one.
Exactly. My breed was one of the Kardashians. I don't remember who it was. She had one, and I was horrified.
Yeah, that's trouble.
It's trouble because everybody wants the dog
I know.
that
It's like
Kylie or whatever Jenner had. And here's the issue. Italian Greyhounds are incredibly sensitive. They have tooth issues. They can have epilepsy, and they can break a leg, which is about $6,000 to $9,000 to have repaired. It's not a breed for everyone. It works for me. My dog loves to stay inside. If she went out, she could care less. People don't realize retired racing greyhounds actually make better apartment dogs than a beagle or a corgi because they love to be sedentary. You may take them for a walk, but they want to lay in the sun under a quilt.
Yeah, they're cold all the time. They're a little bit like cats. Having a large size greyhound who retired from the track is a little bit like having a cat. They hang around, they cuddle, they're very quiet. You walk them on leash only. They're really quite an easy pet to have. People are surprised to hear that. But I'm hoping if they go through and get on your app, they'll figure all this out. Because when I did Pick Your Pup way back, people were shocked when they got to the page that showed them what they could have. They had no idea. And they were usually going in with an idea of size and cuteness and nothing else, you know. And if they read back in the 80s, Dr. Stancorn said that Border Collies were the smartest dogs. So everybody wanted Border Collies. And then there were a bunch of movies with golden retrievers jumping around and playing basketball. Everybody wanted those. And then there was Disney came out with a remake of 101 Dalmatians.
Terrible.
Well, that kept me busy because Dalmatians are working dogs and most families don't want a working dog. So yes, I'm so glad you've got your app out there. Maybe it will help people make the right decisions and not just go for the cute, fluffy face dressed in a costume on the internet.
Well, here's the thing. It's free. The app is free. It's available on Google and the App Store. It is 100% free. You download it. You take all of 3 minutes to answer the questions. Those 3 minutes can save you 12 to 15 years of a heartache with the wrong breed, a sick breed, and an animal that you ultimately may have to give away or even worse. So it doesn't take that long and it's free. Education is free. We spend more time in this country researching restaurants and where to go on vacation than getting a dog.
That's probably true. Okay, so tell them how to find it one more time before we go.
Sure. So you can go on Google or Google Play or the App Store, and it's hands2paws, hands2paws.com. You can find it hands2paws.com. You can follow us on Instagram at hands_2paws. And we have a blog and we've got all sorts of information on helping people get the right breed. And if you don't know, adopt a dog. I know California's got a crisis right now. Give a loving dog a home and everyone will be happy.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been great. I'm going to have you back on another show if you're willing.
I would love to. There is a lot to talk about.
All right, everybody, you heard it. She'll be back. We'll be talking to Liz Menegon again. And for now, please go check out that app. If you're looking to get a puppy or a dog, or you're thinking about it for someone you know, check it out. Get informed so you make the right decision. When you run into those people, like people run into me sometimes, and they'll see me with my off-leash blue heeler or whatever dog I happen to have with me at the time, walking around, behaving himself, checking on me, not me checking on him, looking at me all the time, jumping into my car when I tell him to, not barking at anyone. And they think, wow, that's a dog trainer's dog. Well, yeah, true. But I also picked the right dog.
That's right.
If I picked the wrong dog, it wouldn't work so smoothly. When you run into someone who's got this dog that just fits them like a glove, they picked the right dog. So be that person. Pick the right dog. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. From Animal Party, Pet Life Radio, and me, Deb Wolf. Be good to your animals.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.